Welcome to Microsoft earnings. We are just about to bring in our earnings. We can tell you that Microsoft missed on earnings. We did manage to make a profit. We did pop up 10% overall, and I sold, and I'm now looking to buy it back cheaper again. So there we go. The earnings call starts in 59 minutes time, but I'll be with you live in just a few minutes. We'll just take a short break. I'll be with you. You can come into the chat, you can ask your questions, but we will share with you what's going on. This is the Microsoft earnings. We'll cover it live. This is the stock. As you can see, it popped up. Even though they missed on earnings, it popped up. I took a 10% profit on it. I intend to buy it back when it goes lower. If it doesn't, that's fine, but I'm happy to make a profit from that. It's fallen back a bit already, as you can see. So this is the Microsoft earnings. Welcome to our live event. We are covering the live earnings from our show this evening. So sit back and relax. The Microsoft earnings coming up very, very shortly. We have taken a profit, and we'll be right back with you very soon. Leave your comments, share, and I will answer all your comments live on the show. So there we go. Microsoft earnings coming up very, very shortly indeed. Welcome to our earnings for Microsoft. I can tell you that they've missed on earnings. However, the stock did pop up and I made a 10% profit and I sold my position and I'm looking to buy it back. I don't mind if it doesn't go back down lower. I don't have to own Microsoft, but I'm happy to make a profit from it. So there we go. There's Microsoft earnings tonight. And we have missed on earnings. If you smash the like button, if we get 100 likes during the show, we will give away a cash prize at the end of the show. So we are now up to 6 likes. There are 16 watching, so please smash the like button. And if we get to 100 likes during the show, there's now 17 watching, 6 likes, smash the like button. All it does when you like the video is it tells YouTube to share this video to more people, and I really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm of my YouTube channel and helps me provide this live content for you. But please do that, and we can then get to 100 likes and give away a cash prize. All right, very, very good indeed. Good evening, Dominic Webb, Ali Tisro, George Semaine. Welcome to all of you, Stephen Lewandowski. I'll bring your comments on the screen. Smash the like button. We're up to 7 likes now. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes during the show. I have got buy orders to buy Microsoft on the way down. I did make a profit. Very happy with that. Let's see if we can buy it back again. Welcome to Microsoft earnings coming up very soon, and we will be coming live before we've reached 0 on the clock so we can discuss the stock. It has missed on earnings. I had a 10% profit. I took it because we missed on earnings, so the plan is to buy it back somewhere below this point here, and hoping to do that. Very, very nice indeed. If you've just tuned in, if you smash the like button, and if we get 100 likes during the show, we will give away a cash prize during the show. So please, excuse me, please do smash the like button and help us grow here on YouTube, and then we will be able to give away a cash prize in the show. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome to our event. The earnings coming up very, very soon. We've now got 17 watching and 8 likes. Please smash the like button and hopefully we can get to 100. See you back very soon. Welcome to the Microsoft earnings coming up very, very shortly. We will be breaking into this before it starts. The official earnings starts in 43 minutes, but we will come back before then. We did take a 10% profit. We're hoping for it to go back down again. Don't see why it went up so much when they missed on earnings. There were some good parts of the earnings, but the most important part, of course, is the presentation and giving the projections for going forward. But if we do drop, we're ready to buy some shares back of Microsoft. If not, that's absolutely fine. We don't have to own Microsoft. But anyway, let's see how we do. Smash the like button. If we get to 100 likes, we will give away a cash prize during the show. Okay, see you back in a few minutes. Good evening and welcome to the Microsoft earnings. We're coming up very, very soon now to the start of the earnings. I can tell you that Microsoft missed on earnings, but it popped up 10% overall. I was up, so I sold my position. I'm looking, looking back to buying it back down lower. If it doesn't happen, that's absolutely fine. I've made 10% from it. I don't have to hold on to it. Microsoft earnings, as you can see, coming up in 31 minutes from now. And so there we are. And if you smash the like button, if we get to 100 likes, we will give away a cash prize in the show. Now then, I notice MSK is in the house. I'd like to be able to upgrade you on Discord. So if you could go over to Discord right now and go into the welcome all screen. I did actually send you a message on Discord. You went into the wrong channel. Go into the welcome all screen and I will upgrade you on the show because you are a YouTube member and you can get many, many more perks, including Ali Tisrow's T's channel. So go to Discord right now and I'll be in welcome all waiting for you. You went into one of the server stats channels, which is incorrect. If you go into welcome all, I will upgrade your account. Okay, see you back in a few minutes. Okay, Microsoft earnings coming up very shortly. MSK, no problem at all. No problem at all that you went in the wrong channel. That's not a problem. I just need to verify you live on the show. So just go into the welcome all one and I'll be able to welcome you in and verify you on the screen. And I see Stephen Lewandowski is just typing now into the welcome all screen. Once I see you in there, I can confirm it's you and upgrade your account. I can't do it on the channel that you spoke to earlier. Just need to make sure it's you, as people will pretend to be you and claim your benefits, and I can open up all the extra benefits and perks to you once you've come into the welcome all screen on Discord. See you back in a few minutes time for the Microsoft earnings. Fantastic. I see welcome MSK in the chat, in the welcome all. So MSK on YouTube, just excuse me, just confirm that is you. Write the word in YouTube that you just written down in welcome all, and I can confirm it's you. Okay, so in the YouTube chat right now, write down the word that you put in the welcome all, and I'll know it's you, and I'll be able to upgrade your account. Okay. Okay, we've got the Microsoft earnings coming up very, very shortly. Just talking to one of our members now, upgrading their account live on the show. So MSK, you just have to say, I know it seems a bit of a joke and funny, but people will try and steal your benefits. Is this you? Just say yes in YouTube and I will upgrade you live on the show. Is this you? Just say yes in the chat and I will know it's you. There are people pretending to be lots of people here on the channel. It's very, very important that you confirm that's you. Yes, it is. Okay, fantastic. So MSK, I don't need to change your nickname, and I go and add you the role of member. There you go. There you go. You are now a member. You can now see all the private channels down here, the YouTube members. If you ever go silver, you can have your own channel. You can see Ali Tisrow's tips now. If you go into Ali Tisrow's tips, there's a link here which gives you a discount for the services. Ali Tisrow, are you in the chat? Is this up to date? Did you update this link? Ali Tisrow, I just want to make sure that Ali Tisrow, did you update? Did you update this link, Ali? Okay, just so we know that if you ever want Ali's services, as a member of mine, you'll get a 15% discount to this service. And also, at the bottom is the broadcast lounge. You can call into the show. When I open up this, you can actually call into the show and be on the show. There you go. That's another perk and benefit upgraded and open for you. All right? You got everything you needed. Brilliant. Okay. And hopefully Ali will respond shortly to say that channel is up to date. Okay. Here is the Microsoft earnings. We're just 24 minutes away, as you can see, and we're just waiting for Microsoft to start their earnings in 24 minutes. This is where we'll be listening in. This is the chart, and we are looking for a dip. If it carries on going, that's fine. We took profits from it. Hopefully we can get it back in again. I'd like to own Microsoft. It's an important part of your portfolio. Okay, we'll be back very, very shortly. Don't go away. Smash the like button. If we get to 100 likes, we will give away a cash prize during the show. We are now up to 12 likes. Excuse me. Smash the like button. If we get to 100, we'll give a cash prize away. And there we go. Jorg just subscribed. Thank you ever so much indeed. And we're just a few minutes to go now, 23 minutes in fact, before our earnings. Sit back and relax. See you back very shortly. To answer your question, MSK, I'm just looking for $200,000 from my portfolio, and I should be there by the end of next year, to be honest. I can see that happening, and I have no car loan, I have no mortgage, I have no loans or debts. That's enough for me. I have a very simple life in England, where I'll be retiring to, back to my home in England. $200,000 of the portfolio with a dividend will be very nice for me. That's what I need. And I'll be fine with that. Also, I don't really plan on retiring. I'll just carry on YouTube and doing some gigs, and even when I'm old and grey, I'll be able to do this. Just might be a bit slower. Okay, we're just coming up now to our earnings. It's not time yet, but we are going to start our conversation with you all. So let's bring it onto this screen here. There we are. Welcome, everybody. And we're just getting ready for the earnings to begin. We'll be there. Now, we did take a profit from this. Was it right? Well, it's always right to take a profit. It's always the right thing to do to take a profit. It doesn't matter if you could have got more. It doesn't matter if you make a profit, you make a profit. All that's important is you make a profit. Excuse me, got a bit of a cough tonight. And that is all we need. MSK, wish you the best, Martyn. Thank you very much indeed. And I wish you the best as well. Absolutely right. So we're waiting for the earnings to begin, and this is the chart we're looking at. We know that they missed on earnings. There were some good signs, however. If we scroll down, we can see it's not showing here. Let me refresh the screen and see if the earnings information comes in. Sorry about the lens flare there. Okay, there's the chart. This is where the earnings will be. When it begins. It's not happening yet. We'll be there waiting for it. Once it starts, you'll be here with it, and it'll start today in 18 minutes from now. That's when we expect it to begin. And now we can see it might show the figures here, but we know they've missed on earnings. Let's scroll down. There we go. Estimated 229. Actual, I apologize. They actually beat on earnings. We had information saying it actually missed. So they've actually beaten on earnings. I apologize for that. The information we were given was they had missed on earnings. Well, that's incorrect. The information that I was given earlier was actually wrong. They've actually beaten on earnings. So, however, a profit is still a profit, but we still want to see if we can get it lower. A very slight beat, but a beat is nevertheless a beat. So that is good. So we got a pop on it. So now we know it had in fact beaten on earnings. We actually want to set the information I was given earlier. 22 said to me that they missed on earnings. That was not the case at all. But I could buy it in again now, but I've made 10%. 22, one of our viewers here said they said it had missed, and he was incorrect. However, I've sold it for a profit at this point. I could buy back in, and I'm exactly where I started. But you know what? I'm going to take my profit. It's fine. Take the profit is just as good. It probably won't go back down. But what I'll do though is I will cancel my limit order, because it definitely isn't going to go down to where it was before. That isn't going to happen, but I might be able to buy it here, and that'll be still a 5% gain for me. So we will, because it will sell off at some point. It won't just keep going and going and going. It wasn't a massive beat, but anyway, 16 minutes to go. Let me go to my Microsoft now, and what I'm going to do is, I had a limit order to buy it back at my all-time low. It isn't going to go there. It isn't going to go all the way to an all-time low. However, it might go back to where it was today, so 242. I don't expect it to move too quickly, so what I'll do is I'll just watch it. I'll watch it. I don't know where it's going to go, but between here and this point here, we made 5%. So I can buy it back here, and I've still banked the 5%. How is the market rising? It's in the after hours, depending on your brokerage. It will depend on the time that you can trade. I'm on Robinhood, and I can trade up to 7 o'clock this evening, and it's 4:15 here in Dallas. So I've got another 2 hours and 45 minutes. I start investing and trading from 5 o'clock in the morning. Buy soon, Google half price, says Stephen Lewandowski. Yes, take profits. Slow and consistent wins the race. Absolutely right. I took 10%. I use plus 500. I can't trade. Indeed. Oh, Sakiso, where are you in the world? What part of the world are you in? Let me know where you are. I'm actually from Dallas, Texas, even though I'm actually from England, in Cornwall. This is my studio here in Dallas, Texas. London. Ah, very nice. I'm from Cornwall, southwest England. And the reason why I asked, because I was going to offer you Robinhood, where we would have both got free stocks. However, it's not available in the UK. It will be coming there in the future, but not there yet. So I'm not going to jump back in again. That information was incorrect. They did not miss on earnings, but doesn't matter. It still popped up. I made a nice profit. Not a problem. I had a very small position in it anyway. So anywhere that I can buy it down below, I've banked that difference. So that's fine. What's the best app to use in England? I can't make a suggestion, I'm afraid. I do use Webull and eToro. I don't like them though. Nowhere near as nice as Robinhood. That's what I use. If you go to my all links button, there are some brokerages that I use that are available in the UK, and if you use my links and my referrals, if I get any referral fees, I will share with you live on the show. As of yet, I haven't got any from Webull and eToro, but there is the all links button. It will take you to my website, and you can have a little look. We're here. We built this channel. We're trying to become the best YouTube channels in the world. I was actually voted by Elton John as the world piano man. This is my music TV studios, and we have world premiere music most nights as well. A few nights ago, I did a song with Sir Paul McCartney. If you saw the video, you'd have seen what I meant by that. Every night I have different videos that are coming out, and if you want to go and check out my music channel, it's it's just below the homepage of this channel. You'll see my Martyn Lucas Music Channel, and you'll see all the things that I do. And we're here to help and support people. We've raised over $1 million for our members on our music channel. That sounds amazing. Thank you very much. We officially have the highest engagement rate of any YouTube channel in the world when it comes to live viewers who are members. 95% of our live viewers that watch us on average every day, we're live 10 hours a day, are actual members. So we're very, very proud of that. And you see the people with badges after their names? Our average live viewers. It's very quiet tonight. So this is a very not that popular earnings report. Microsoft isn't one of our most popular ones. shows throughout the day, opening and closing bell. But we're always live. We're live at the 10 hours a day. We're live on 20 platforms at the same time. We're live on, we have a 500,000 reach. We're live on TikTok right now, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, multiple websites, YouTube, Twitch, all over the place. Anyway, thanks for a good show, Martin. Off to watch Rocket Lab launch their first rocket from the US soil. Yes, indeed. I can't cover that one, I'm afraid. Can't be everywhere at once, but good luck to you. I do own some shares of Rocket Labs, but I wish you all the very best with that. Let me know how you get on. Let's have a look. Sakiso, I think, I took a gamble and bought a Microsoft option for 255. Did you say you're new to trading? If you're new to trading, you shouldn't be doing options. Options is the thing you do when you are very familiar with stocks and you've traded a long time and you're very happy with the whole situation. I wouldn't start trading with options at all. I don't think that's the best thing to do. But, this is not financial advice. What you've got here is these are my real trades, my real positions. What we do here is we share with you our real money, our real trades, all of my money. I've only got, so I share with you my bank account. I tell you exactly how much money I've got in all my savings account. And we're trying to grow the most honest, real YouTube channel in the world. Look, here is my actual balance on Robinhood, my entire portfolio. And there we go. Microsoft just went down. There we go. So let me come back to that in a minute. Microsoft did exactly what we expected. It went straight back up again. There was a moment it dropped. I don't know if you saw that. You may have seen that. It dropped all the way down to where it was earlier today. It went down to 242. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a 242 limit order. We've got volatility like that tonight. So we're going to go 242. One share as a marker to start it off. Good for the day. Allowed to execute. Yeah. Review. They beat on earnings, so we're happy to pay above our minimum price. There we go. That went all the way down to 240 to 241. Anyway. But I love the risk. Pumps are my adrenaline up. Well, there we go. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. We're trying to be real here and supportive, and we're not pumping and dumping anything. We're just sharing the truth. This is my real money, my real positions. We got 8 minutes to go. I can share with you my entire, other than 1,500 in my checking account, 1,500 in my savings account, and the only reason why that's in there is to pay the day-to-day bills, which are very minimal. I have solar in the UK, so my electric is a minimum. My house is paid off. My car loan, I don't have a car anymore. I just work from home. And I have minimum bills. But anyway, this is my overall value, 39.4. That's it in all the world. The only thing I have, and I'll share with you, everything. My Coinbase, we have our crypto challenge. We're doing $1,000 to $10,000 live on the show. There's my crypto challenge, and here is my ledger as well with my Bitcoin in it. There you go. That's all the money I have in all the world. There's no money anywhere else. And the idea is to share with you everything so you can see it all on the screen. So you can see. I started with $5,000. I'm now at $39,000. And my only income is YouTube and doing a gig on a Saturday night. I do a resident venue where people pay tickets to come and see me every week. And that's it. $2,000 a month goes into this portfolio. That's it. I started... Ali Tisra, I sent you a message earlier. So MSK went over to our Discord, and I said you can go into the Ali Tisrow's tips, and in there you've got the 15% discount. Is that link up to date? Did you update it? Did you update it? I want to make sure that that link is useful. Remember, we updated the link, so I asked you that in the chat, and I didn't get a reply, so I'm just reaching out to you now. You're back here. Anyway, Microsoft, we're waiting for the earnings to begin. 6 minutes to go. We took a profit tonight. They did beat on earnings. I gave out the information earlier. Incorrect. 22 said to me that they missed on earnings. They didn't miss on earnings. They beat on earnings. So that information was incorrect. However, I'm still happy to have sold. Still happy to have sold and took a profit on that. That was okay, because the 10% profit is still good. We still might get a pullback. So I don't mind taking a profit at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. So yeah, I was very concerned for Sakiso. Sakiso is a new guest we've just got coming into the show, and Sakiso said that he's just got into investing. He's new, he's just got into it, and he's gone straight into options trading. I'm like, bloody hell. That's not normally how it works. But anyway, Schiffler Stephen, welcome to you. Schifflers, how are you, mate? Lovely to have you here. In the UK, we don't have Robinhood, which kind of sucks. Yes, you don't have it yet. Wait, where can I check your positions? Is it all... wait, where can I check your positions? Is it all public? Yes, I'm live 10 hours a day. You're looking at it. You're looking at my entire portfolio. Every day, I trade 10 hours a day in front of you. You can't show you more than that. I mean, no, not a person on the planet. Look, there is my overall portfolio. These are all my positions. Look, these are all my stocks. All of these. Okay, this is all my entire portfolio. I'll share with you anything. If you are a YouTube member, I will answer all your questions and go into great detail with you. If you'd like to become a member, we can celebrate your birthdays. I'm the World Piano Man, voted by Elton John, so I go in the studio live in the show and do happy birthday. You can also have a 20-minute fundraiser. I reply to all your questions. I can review a stock for you, make a video on a stock. I'll even buy a stock if you want me to. You can request songs in my after hours parties. You can do a poll in the chat. We got members exclusive chat, members exclusive videos, you name it. Loads and loads of things for our members. Here is the invitation to become a member. We're also doing our Ali Tisrow challenge, $1,000 to 10,000. We've got our crypto expert who will do a portfolio for you and explain exactly what we're doing, and you can follow it live in the show. We've got all of that. A lot going on. 3 minutes to go. Microsoft earnings. Here we are. We're just waiting for this to begin. And we're just waiting for it to happen. We've got 3 minutes to go. There is no... here we go. Here we go. We're getting the audio come through now. Very nice indeed. Okay, so we are live now. Okay, let me just mute it. There we go, that's playing live, and we'll be with that in just a couple of moments' time. Okay. Is day trading viable? I day trade, scalp trade, swing trade, long-term invest. I do what's right at the time. Sakiso, you're joined every day by investors, small and large, from all over the world on this channel who share everything. We don't promote anything, hype anything. We are investing our own money, real, everything in front of you. We've got all the different fields of expertise covered, technical charts, crypto, everything. All here for you. 10 hours a day. Right, 1 minute 44. Sakiso's just become bronze. Well, great. I can give you all your perks. First of all, you can now access Discord. Here is Discord. I'll upgrade your links. I'll upgrade you live on the show because as a non-member, non-YouTube member, you can't get all the channels. There's Discord. If you go into Discord, here, this is the Discord screen. And come into the welcome all. I will upgrade your account live on the show. This is the welcome all. Come into welcome all. You see, MSK just came in. We just upgraded his account. I will upgrade you live on the show. We only do it live on the show. That way we only give our perks and benefits to real people. People try to pretend to be you. If you go to my all links button, I'm live every day, 10 hours a day. I haven't got much time to talk to you now. We're about to go into the earnings. But check on our upcoming live streams. We're live every day at the same time. We're always here for you. And we are here to help you. Okay, I won't be able to do it right now because, it'll be now in the morning. We're opening in the morning for the opening bell, and I'll upgrade your account. But right now, we're going over to the Microsoft earnings. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. We're still waiting for the earnings to begin, and this is where it will happen right here. So we're just waiting now for the earnings to begin. Any second now. Okay, let's clear the timer a minute. Okay. Okay, we are good. Ali Tisrose welcomed you in. Ali Tisrose, our crypto guy, will give you great crypto information. He is the one that runs the $1,000 to $10,000 challenge. Live on our show. And we're listening in here now to see what's going on. We're waiting for the earnings to begin. Here we go. Just waiting. Still playing music. We are listening in. You're in the right place. Here we go.
Greetings and welcome to the Microsoft Fiscal Year 2023 Second Quarter Earnings Conference Call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. A question and answer session will follow the formal presentation. If anyone should require operator assistance during the conference, please press *0 on your cell phone keypad. As a reminder, this conference is being recorded. I would now like to turn the conference over to your host, Brett Iverson, Vice President, Investor Relations.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. On the call with me are Satya Nadella, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Amy Hood, Chief Financial Officer, Alice Jalla, Chief Accounting Officer, and Keith Dolliver, Deputy General Counsel. On the Microsoft Investor Relations website, you can find our earnings press release and financial summary slide deck, which is intended to supplement our prepared remarks during today's call and provides the reconciliation of differences between GAAP and non-GAAP financial measures. On this call, we will discuss certain non-GAAP items. The non-GAAP financial measures provided should not be considered as a substitute for or superior to the measures of financial performance prepared in accordance with GAAP. They are included as additional clarifying items to aid investors in further understanding the company's second quarter performance, in addition to the impact these items and events have on the financial results. All growth comparisons we make on the call today relate to the corresponding period of last year, unless otherwise noted. We will also provide growth rates in constant currency when available, as a framework for assessing how our underlying businesses performed, excluding the effect of foreign currency rate fluctuations. Where growth rates are the same in constant currency, we will refer to the growth rate only. We will post our prepared remarks to our website immediately following the call until the complete transcript is available. You can replay the call and view the transcript on the Microsoft Investor Relations website. During this call, we'll be making forward-looking statements, which are predictions, projections, or other statements about future events. These statements are based on current expectations and assumptions that are subject to risks and uncertainties. Actual results could materially differ because of factors discussed in today's earnings press release, in the comments made during this conference call, and in the risk factors section of our Form 10-K, Forms 10-Q, and other reports and filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission. We do not undertake any duty to update any forward-looking statement. And with that, I'll turn the call over to Satya.
Thank you very much, Brett. I want to start with the context I shared with our employees last week on the changing environment and our priorities. As I meet with customers and partners, a few things are increasingly clear. Just as we saw customers accelerate their digital spend during the pandemic, we are now seeing them optimize that spend. Also, organizations are exercising caution given the macroeconomic uncertainty. And the next major wave of computing is being born as we turn the world's most advanced AI models into a new computing platform. In this environment, we remain convicted on three things. This is an important time for Microsoft to work with our customers, helping them realize more value from their tech spend and building long-term loyalty and share position, while internally aligning our own cost structure with our revenue growth. This in turn sets us up to participate in the secular trend where digital spend as a percentage of GDP is only going to increase. And lastly, we're going to lead in the AI era, knowing that maximum enterprise value gets created during platform shifts. With that as the backdrop, the Microsoft Cloud exceeded $27 billion in quarterly revenue, up 22% and 29% in constant currency. Now I'll highlight examples of our innovation, starting with Azure. Moving to the cloud is the best way for any customer in today's economy to mitigate demand uncertainty and energy costs while gaining efficiencies of cloud-native development. Enterprises have moved millions of cores to Azure and run twice as many cores on our cloud today than they did 2 years ago. And yet, we're still in the early innings when it comes to long-term cloud opportunity. As an example, insurer AIA was able to save more than 20% by migrating to Azure and reduced IT provisioning time from multiple months to just an hour. We also continue to lead with hybrid computing with Azure Arc. We now have more than 12,000 Arc customers, double the number a year ago, including companies like Citrix, Northern Trust, and PayPal. Now on to data. Customers continue to choose and implement the Microsoft Intelligent Data Platform over the competition because of its comprehensiveness, integration, and lower cost. Bayer, for example, used the data stack to evaluate results from clinical trials faster and more efficiently while meeting regulatory requirements, and ASOS chose Cosmos DB to power real-time product recommendations and order processing for over 26 million global customers. Now on to AI. The age of AI is upon us, and Microsoft's powering it. We are witnessing nonlinear improvements in capability of foundation models, which we are making available as platforms. And as customers select their cloud providers and invest in new workloads, we are well positioned to capture that opportunity as a leader in AI. We have the most powerful AI supercomputing infrastructure in the cloud. It's being used by customers and partners like OpenAI to train state-of-the-art models and services, including ChatGPT. Just last week, we made our Azure OpenAI service broadly available, and already over 200 customers from KPMG to Al Jazeera are using it. We will soon add support for ChatGPT, enabling customers to use it in their own applications for the first time. And yesterday, we announced the completion of the next phase of our agreement with OpenAI. We are pleased to be their exclusive cloud provider and will deploy their models across our consumer and enterprise products as we continue to push the state-of-the-art in AI. All of this innovation is driving growth across our Azure AI services. Azure ML revenue alone has increased more than 100% for 5 quarters in a row, with companies like AXA, FedEx, and H&R Block choosing the service to deploy, manage, and govern their models. Now on to developers. Modernizing applications is mission critical to any company's operations today. And with GitHub Visual Studio and Azure PaaS services, we have the most comprehensive portfolio of tools to help. GitHub is now home to 100 million developers, and GitHub Copilot is the first at-scale AI product built for this era, fundamentally transforming developer productivity. More than 1 million people have used Copilot to date. This quarter, we brought Copilot to businesses, and we have seen strong interest and early adoption from companies including Duolingo, Lemonade, and Volkswagen CARIAD Software Group. Now on to Power Platform. Power Platform is becoming an essential digital transformation tool as every business looks to streamline their operations and drive productivity in today's environment. We are helping customers realize superior time to value with our end-to-end suite spanning low-code, no-code tools, automation, virtual agents, and business intelligence. We are leading in robotic process automation. Power Automate has more than 45,000 customers from AT&T to Robobank, up over 50% year over year. And we are making it easier for anyone to streamline repetitive tasks, introducing new AI-powered features to turn natural language prompts into complex workflows. Now on to business applications. Dynamics 365 is taking share as we help businesses digitize their service, finance, customer experience, and supply chain functions. For example, Pepsi Cola bottlers is moving from reactive to predictive field service. Fujifilm is optimizing its operations. Investec is closing deals faster with conversational intelligence. Baylor Scott & White in Texas is using our digital contact center to enhance patient communications. And this quarter, we introduced our new supply chain platform, helping customers like iFit and Kraft Heinz apply AI to predict and mitigate disruptions. Now on to industry solutions. Our industry and cross-industry clouds are driving pull-through for our entire tech stack. Our cloud for retail was front and center at NRF last week as we introduced new tools to help retailers manage their day-to-day operations and digitize their physical stores. Polish retailer Żabka has built the largest chain of autonomous stores in Europe with the help of our technology. In financial services, our new partnership with London Stock Exchange Group will deliver next generation of data analytics and workspace solutions. And in healthcare, we are rapidly becoming the partner of choice for any provider looking to generate real value from AI. With Nuance DAX ambient intelligence solutions, physicians can reduce documentation time by half, improving the quality of their patient interactions. Now on to systems of work. Microsoft 365, Teams, and Viva are essential for every organization to adapt to the new world of work. Microsoft 365 is rapidly evolving into an AI-first platform that enables every individual to amplify their creativity and productivity with both our established applications as well as new applications like Designer, Stream, and Loop. We have more than 63 million consumer subscribers, up 12% year over year, and we introduced Microsoft 365 Basic, bringing our premium offerings to more people. Teams surpassed 280 million monthly active users this quarter, showing durable momentum since the pandemic, and we continue to take share across every category from collaboration to chat to meetings to calling. Teams has emerged as a first-class platform. Apps from Adobe, Atlassian, Poly, ServiceNow, and Workday have each surpassed 500,000 active users, and the number of third-party apps with more than 10,000 users increased nearly 40% year over year. There are more than 500,000 active Teams Rooms devices, up 70% year over year, and the number of customers with more than 1,000 rooms doubled year over year. Novo Nordisk will deploy Teams Rooms to 5,000 meeting rooms globally in our largest deal to date. Teams Phone continues to take share and is the market leader in cloud calling. We've added more than 5 million PSTN seats over the last 12 months alone. With Teams Premium, we are meeting enterprise demand for advanced features like end-to-end encryption and AI-powered recaps. We have seen strong interest in preview, and we will make it broadly available next month. With Microsoft Viva, we have created a new market category for employee experience and organizational productivity. US Bank is using Viva to streamline employee communications, and Carlsberg turned to Viva to centralize its digital employee experience for 29,000 employees. In today's environment, aligning the entire organization on the most important work is critical. Viva Goals brings objectives and key results directly into the flow of daily work. Viva has also become an indispensable tool for business process. Viva Sales is the super app in Microsoft 365 for sellers. We have seen strong interest since making it generally available this quarter. All up, we continue to see organizations consolidate on Microsoft 365. 80% of our enterprise customers use 5 or more Microsoft 365 applications, and organizations across the private and public sector, including EY, IKEA, NTT Communications, Rio Tinto, as well as the state government of Virginia, are increasingly choosing our premium E5 offerings for advanced security, compliance, voice, and analytics. Now on to Windows. While the number of PCs shipped declined during the quarter, returning to pre-pandemic levels, usage intensity of Windows continues to be higher than pre-pandemic, with time spent per PC up nearly 10%. Monthly active devices also reached an all-time high this quarter. And for commercial customers, Windows 11 adoption continues to grow because of its differentiated security and productivity value proposition. We're also seeing growth in cloud-delivered Windows, with usage of Windows 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop up by over 2/3 year over year. Leaders in every industry, from Campari and Grant Thornton UK to Nutrien and Woolworths, are using cloud-delivered Windows, including more than 60% of the Fortune 500. Now on to security. Over the past 12 months, our security business surpassed $20 billion in revenue as we help customers protect their digital estate across clouds and endpoint platforms. We're the only company with integrated end-to-end tools spanning identity, security, compliance, device management, and privacy, informed and trained on over 65 trillion signals each day. We are taking share across all major categories we serve. Customers are consolidating on our security stack in order to reduce risk, complexity, and cost. The number of organizations with 4 or more workloads increased over 40% year over year. UK retailer Fraser Group, for example, consolidated from 10 security vendors to just Microsoft. Roku moved identity and access management to the cloud with Azure Active Directory. And Estella Pharma, Ferrovial, and University of Toronto all switched to Microsoft Sentinel because of our integrated XDR and SIEM capabilities. Now on to LinkedIn. People and companies continue to look to LinkedIn to connect, learn, sell, and get hired. We once again saw record engagement among our more than 900 million members. 3 members are signing up every second. Over 80% of these members are from outside the United States. And as the members come to the platform to find and share professional knowledge and expertise, newsletter creation was up 10x year over year. Skills are the new currency, and people are increasingly investing in their skill building to keep up with their changing roles and industries. We offer more than 20,000 courses in 11 languages, and companies are also turning to a skills-based approach in place of degree or pedigree to identify qualified talent, with more than 45% of the hires on LinkedIn explicitly using skills data to fill their roles. Finally, LinkedIn Marketing Solutions continues to be a leader in B2B digital advertising, helping companies deliver the right message to the right audience on a safe and trusted platform. Now on to advertising. Despite headwinds in the ad market, we continue to innovate across our first and third-party portfolios. Our browser, Microsoft Edge, gained share for the 7th consecutive quarter. Bing continues to gain share in the United States, and daily users of our Start personalized content feed increased over 30% year over year. We are now empowering retailers and expanding our third-party inventory. With Promote IQ, we're building a complete omni-channel media platform for companies like the Australian retailer Endeavour, as well as Canada's Hudson's Bay, and Globo, the largest Brazilian TV broadcaster, chose Xandr to launch a new media buying platform in that market. Now on to gaming. In gaming, we continue to pursue our ambition to give players more choice to play great games wherever, whenever, and however they want. We saw new highs for Game Pass subscriptions, game streaming hours, and monthly active devices. And monthly active users surpassed a record 120 million during the quarter. We continue to invest to add value to Game Pass. This quarter, we partnered with Riot Games to make the company's PC and mobile games, along with premium content, available to subscribers. And finally, we are energized by our upcoming lineup of AAA game launches, including exciting new titles from ZeniMax and Xbox Game Studios, and we'll be sharing details and gameplay at our showcase tomorrow. In closing, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to our employees for their continued dedication to our mission, customers, and partners. We will continue to pursue our long-term opportunity and innovation agenda with urgency, while also raising the bar on our operational excellence. With that, I'll hand it over to Amy.
Thank you, Satya, and good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start by reiterating Satya's thoughts on the changing environment and our priorities, which underpin the decisions communicated in last week's announcement. The resulting Q2 charge negatively impacted gross margin by $152 million, operating income by $1.2 billion, and earnings per share by 12 cents. Our second quarter revenue was $52.7 billion, up 2% and 7% in constant currency. When adjusted for the charge, gross margin dollars increased 2% and 8% in constant currency. Operating income decreased 3% and increased 6% in constant currency. And earnings per share was $2.32, which decreased 6% and increased 2% in constant currency. In our consumer business, the PC market was in line with our expectations, but execution challenges impacted our Surface business. Advertising spend declined slightly more than expected, which impacted search and news advertising and LinkedIn marketing solutions. In our commercial business, we delivered strong growth in line with our expectations. However, as you heard from Satya, we are seeing customers exercise caution in this environment, and we saw results weaken through December. We saw moderated consumption growth in Azure and lower than expected growth in new business across the standalone Office 365, EMS, and Windows commercial products that are sold outside the Microsoft 365 suite. From a geographic perspective, we saw strong execution in many regions around the world. However, performance in the US was weaker than expected. Importantly, we continued to see share gains in areas such as data and AI, Dynamics, Teams, security, and Edge. Commercial bookings increased 7% and 4% in constant currency, lower than expected. Consistent execution across our renewal sales motions, including strong recapture rates and growth in Azure commitments on a high prior year comparable, were partially offset by the slowdown in growth of new standalone business noted earlier. Commercial remaining performance obligation increased 29% and 26% in constant currency to $189 billion. Roughly 45% will be recognized in revenue in the next 12 months, up 24% year over year. The remaining portion, which will be recognized beyond the next 12 months, increased 32%. Our annuity mix increased 2 points year over year to 96%. FX decreased total company revenue by 5 points in line with expectations. At a segment level, FX decreased productivity and business processes revenue growth by 6 points, 1 point favorable to expectations. FX impact on intelligent cloud and more personal computing were both in line with expectations. Additionally, FX decreased both COGS and operating expense growth by 2 points, 1 point unfavorable to expectations. Microsoft Cloud revenue was $27.1 billion and grew 22% and 29% in constant currency, ahead of expectations. Microsoft Cloud gross margin percentage increased roughly 2 points year over year to 72%, a point better than expected, driven by lower energy costs. Excluding the impact of the change in accounting estimate for useful lives, Microsoft Cloud gross margin percentage decreased roughly 1 point, primarily driven by sales mix shift to Azure. Company gross margin percentage was 67%. Excluding the impact of the change in accounting estimate, gross margin percentage decreased roughly 2 points, driven by a lower mix of Windows OEM revenue and sales mix shift from licensing to cloud. Operating expense, when adjusted for the Q2 charge, increased 11% and 13% in constant currency, about $500 million lower than expected. Operating expense growth was driven by investments in cloud engineering, the Nuance acquisition, and LinkedIn. At a total company level, headcount ended December 19% higher than a year ago. Sequential headcount growth was less than 1%. Year-over-year growth included roughly 6 points from the Nuance and Xandr acquisitions, which closed last Q3 and Q4 respectively. Adjusted for the charge, operating margins decreased roughly 2 points year-over-year to 41%. Excluding the impact of the change in accounting estimate, operating margins declined roughly 4 points, primarily driven by unfavorable FX impact, as well as a lower mix of OEM revenue. Now to our segment results. Revenue from productivity and business processes was $17 billion and grew 7% and 13% constant currency, in line with expectations when excluding the favorable FX impact noted earlier. Office commercial revenue grew 7% and 14% in constant currency. Office 365 commercial revenue increased 11% and 18% in constant currency, slightly better than expected, with healthy renewal execution and ARPU growth as E5 momentum remains strong. Paid Office 365 commercial seats grew 12% year-over-year, with installed base expansion across all workloads and customer segments. Seat growth was driven by our small and medium business and frontline worker offerings, although we saw some impact from the slowdown in growth of new business noted earlier. Office consumer revenue declined 2% and increased 3% in constant currency, with continued momentum in Microsoft 365 subscriptions, which grew 12% to 63.2 million, partially offset by declines in our transactional business. LinkedIn revenue increased 10% and 14% in constant currency, driven by growth in talent solutions, partially offset by weakness in marketing solutions from the advertising trends noted earlier. Dynamics revenue grew 13% and 20% in constant currency, driven by Dynamics 365, which grew 21% and 29% in constant currency. Segment gross margin dollars increased 8% and 16% in constant currency, and gross margin percentage increased roughly 1 point year-over-year. Excluding the impact of the change in accounting estimate, gross margin percentage decreased slightly, driven by sales mix shift to cloud offerings. Operating expense increased 12% and 14% in constant currency, including roughly 5 points from the Q2 charge. Operating income increased 6% and 17% in constant currency, as the 3 points of favorable impact due to the change in accounting estimate were offset by 3 points of unfavorable impact from the Q2 charge noted earlier. Next, the Intelligent Cloud segment. Revenue was $21.5 billion, increasing 18% and 24% in constant currency, in line with expectations. Overall, server products and cloud services revenue increased 20% and 26% in constant currency. Azure and other cloud services revenue grew 31% and 38% in constant currency. As noted earlier, growth continued to moderate, particularly in December, and we exited the quarter with Azure constant currency growth in the mid-30s. In our per-user business, the enterprise mobility and security installed base grew 16% to over 241 million seats, with impact from the slowdown and growth of new business noted earlier. In our on-premises server business, revenue decreased 2% and increased 2% in constant currency, with continued hybrid demand offset by weakness in transactional licensing. Enterprise services revenue grew 2% and 7% in constant currency. Segment gross margin dollars increased 17% and 23% in constant currency, and gross margin percentage decreased slightly. Excluding the impact of the change in accounting estimate, gross margin percentage declined roughly 3 points, driven by sales mix shift to Azure and higher energy cost. Operating expenses increased 34% and 37% in constant currency, including roughly 13 points of impact from the Q2 charge noted earlier, and roughly 7 points of impact from the Nuance acquisition. Operating income grew 7% and 15% in constant currency, as roughly 7 points of favorable impact from the change in accounting estimate was offset by approximately 7 points of unfavorable impact from the Q2 charge. Now to more personal computing. Revenue was $14.2 billion, decreasing 19% and 16% in constant currency, below expectations, driven by Surface, Windows Commercial, and Search. Windows OEM revenue decreased 39% year-over-year, in line with expectations. Excluding the impact from the Windows 11 deferral last year, revenue declined 36% on a strong prior year comparable. Devices revenue decreased 39% and 34% in constant currency, below expectations due to execution challenges on new product launches. Windows commercial products and cloud services revenue declined 3% and increased 3% in constant currency, lower than expected, primarily due to the slowdown in growth of new business and standalone offerings noted earlier. Search and news advertising revenue ex-TAC increased 10% and 15% in constant currency, a bit lower than expected, as noted earlier. Our Edge browser gained more share than expected this quarter. The Xandr acquisition contributed roughly 6 points of benefit. And in gaming, revenue declined 13% and 9% in constant currency, in line with expectations. Xbox hardware revenue declined 13% and 9% in constant currency. Xbox content and services revenue declined 12% and 8% in constant currency, given the strong first-party content last year. Segment gross margin dollars declined 29% and 24% in constant currency, and gross margin percentage decreased roughly 7 points year over year, driven by lower device gross margin and sales mix shift to lower margin businesses. Operating expenses increased 6% and 9% in constant currency, including roughly 6 points of impact from the Q2 charge noted earlier, and 3 points of impact from the Xandr acquisition. Operating income decreased 47% and 40% in constant currency, including roughly 6 points of unfavorable impact from the Q2 charge noted earlier. Now back to total company results. Capital expenditures, including finance leases, were $6.8 billion to support cloud demand. Cash paid for PP&E was $6.3 billion. Cash flow from operations was $11.2 billion, down 23% year over year, as strong cloud billings and collections were more than offset by a tax payment related to the TCJA capitalization of R&D provision, as well as higher employee and supplier payments. Free cash flow was $4.9 billion, down 43% year over year. Excluding the impact of this tax payment, cash flow from operations declined 7% and free cash flow declined 16%. This quarter, other income and expense was negative $60 million, lower than anticipated, driven by a mark-to-market loss on a forward share purchase agreement. Our effective tax rate was approximately 19%. And finally, we returned $9.7 billion to shareholders through share repurchases and dividends. Now, moving to our Q3 outlook, which, unless specifically noted otherwise, is on a US dollar basis. My commentary for both the full year and next quarter does not include any impact from Activision, which we continue to work towards closing in fiscal year 2023, subject to obtaining required regulatory approvals. First, FX. Based on current rates, we now expect FX to decrease total revenue growth by approximately 3 points, COGS growth by 1 point, and operating expense growth by 2 points. Within the segments, we anticipate roughly 4 points of negative impact on revenue growth in productivity and business processes, 3 points in intelligent cloud, and 2 points in more personal computing. In our consumer business, Windows OEM and devices will see continued declines as the PC market returns to pre-pandemic levels. And LinkedIn and search will be impacted as ad market spending remains a bit cautious. In our commercial business, we expect business trends that we saw at the end of December to continue into Q3. While customers are more cautious in their spend, we also have the opportunity to improve our execution, given our strong position in durable growth markets. In commercial bookings, with a declining expiry base and a strong prior year comparable in terms of large Azure contracts, we expect growth to be relatively flat year over year. We expect consistent execution across our core annuity sales motions, and continued commitments to our platform will be offset by impact from the slowdown of new business noted earlier, and 3 points of unfavorable impact from the inclusion of Nuance in the prior year. Microsoft Cloud gross margin percentage should be up roughly 1 point year over year, driven by the accounting estimate change noted earlier. Excluding that impact, Q3 cloud gross margin percentage will decrease roughly 1 point, driven by Azure. In capital expenditures, we expect a sequential increase on a dollar basis, with normal quarterly spend variability in the timing of our cloud infrastructure build-out. Our data center investments continue to be based on a near-term and longer-term customer demand, including AI opportunities. Next, segment guidance. In productivity and business processes, we expect revenue to grow between 11% and 13% in constant currency, or $16.9 to $17.2 billion US dollars. In Office Commercial, revenue growth will again be driven by Office 365, with seat growth across customer segments and ARPU growth through E5. We expect Office 365 revenue growth to be sequentially lower by roughly 1 point on a constant currency basis. In our on-premises business, we expect revenue to decline in the mid-20s. In Office Consumer, we expect revenue growth in the low single digits, driven by Microsoft 365 subscriptions. For LinkedIn, we expect mid-single-digit revenue growth with continued strong engagement on the platform, although impacted by the advertising trends noted earlier and a slowdown in hiring, particularly in the technology industry, where we have significant exposure. And in Dynamics, we expect revenue growth to be in the low to mid-teens, driven by continued growth in Dynamics 365, which is now over 80% of total Dynamics revenue. For Intelligent Cloud, we expect revenue to grow between 17 and 19% in constant currency, or 21.7 to 22 billion US dollars. Revenue will continue to be driven by Azure, which, as a reminder, can have quarterly variability, primarily from our per-user business and from in-period revenue recognition, depending on the mix of contracts. In Azure, our per-user business should continue to benefit from Microsoft 365 suite momentum, though we expect continued moderation in growth rate given the size of the installed base. As I noted earlier, we exited Q2 with Azure growth in the mid-30s in constant currency, and from that, we expect Q3 growth to decelerate roughly 4 to 5 points in constant currency. FX impact in Azure is about a point more than at the segment level. In our on-premises server business, we expect revenue to decline low single digits as demand for our hybrid solutions will be more than offset by unfavorable FX impact. And in enterprise services, revenue should decline low to mid single digits, driven by Microsoft consulting services. In more personal computing, we expect revenue of 11.9 to 12.3 billion US dollars. Windows OEM revenue should decline in the mid to high 30s in line with the PC market. We expect Q3 PC units to be similar to pre-pandemic levels. In devices, revenue should decline in the mid 40s as we work through the execution challenges noted earlier. In Windows commercial products and cloud services on a strong prior year comparable, revenue should be relatively flat as customer demand for Microsoft 365 and our advanced security solutions will be partially offset by the slowdown in new business noted earlier. Search and news advertising ex-TAC should grow high single digits, roughly 7 points faster than overall search and news advertising revenue, driven by continued volume strength, supported by Edge browser share gains and the inclusion of Xandr. And in gaming, on a prior year comparable that benefited from increased console supply, we expect revenue to decline in the high single digits. We expect Xbox content and services revenue to decline in the low single digits as growth in Xbox Game Pass subscriptions will be more than offset by lower monetization per hour in third-party and first-party content. Now back to company guidance. We expect COGS to grow between 1 and 2% in constant currency, or to be between 15.65 and 15.85 billion US dollars, and operating expense to grow between 11 and 12% constant currency, or be 14.7 to 14.8 billion US dollars. Other income and expense should be roughly $200 million as interest income is expected to more than offset interest expense. As a reminder, we are required to recognize mark-to-market gains and losses on our equity portfolio, which can increase quarterly volatility. We expect our Q3 effective tax rate to be between 19 and 20%. And finally, as a reminder for Q3 cash flow, we expect to make a $1.2 billion cash tax payment related to the TCJA capitalization of R&D provision. Now, some thoughts on H2 and the full year. First, in our commercial business, revenue grew 20% on a constant currency basis in H1. However, we now expect to see a deceleration in H2, given how we exited December. Next, higher energy costs for the full year are now expected to be $500 million compared to our previous estimate of $800 million. Third, as we continue to prioritize our investments and anniversary the Nuance and Xandr acquisitions, our Q4 operating expense growth should be in the low single digits in constant currency. Finally, we remain committed to operational excellence, aligning cost and growth, investing in our customers' success, and leading the AI platform wave. As a result, When excluding the Q2 charge and favorable impact from the change in accounting estimate, we expect full year operating margins to be down roughly 1 point in constant currency and roughly 2 points in USD, even with the headwinds from materially lower OEM revenue and higher energy cost. In the first half of the year, over 70% of our revenue came from our commercial business, and over 70% of that from Microsoft Cloud. We have a resilient foundation and durable growth markets where we are gaining share. I'm confident in the ability of our Microsoft team to manage the near term by continuing to position ourselves for the future. With that, let's go to Q&A. Brett.
Thanks, Amy. We'll now move over to the Q&A. Out of respect for others on the call, we request that participants please only ask one question. Joe, can you please repeat your instructions?
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we will be conducting a question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad, and a confirmation tone will indicate your line is in the question queue. You may press star 2 if you would like to remove your question from the queue. For participants using speaker equipment, it may be necessary to pick up your handset before pressing the star keys. One moment, please, while we poll for questions. Our first question comes from the line of Keith Weiss with Morgan Stanley. Please proceed.
Excellent. Thank you guys for taking the question. I was hoping we could delve into the expansion of the investment into OpenAI. Satya, I was hoping you could talk to us about, is there any expansion in the scope of what you guys are doing with OpenAI and the commitment that you guys are making in terms of sort of the compute capacity you're going to be giving to them? And then maybe as from an investor's perspective, how should we think about when this functionality is going to become expand beyond just sort of the Azure OpenAI services, and where we're going to start to see some of the positive impacts to perhaps Bing or the productivity suite or more broadly across the solution portfolio?
Thank you so much, Keith, for the question. So, as you know, we started the OpenAI partnership, now in 3.5 years ago, and we've been actually working very hard on a lot of elements of this partnership over the last 3 years. And so I think the way for our investors to see this is we fundamentally believe that the next big platform wave, as I said, is going to be AI. And we strongly also believe a lot of the enterprise value gets created by just being able to catch these waves and then have those waves impact every part of our tech stack and also create new solutions and new opportunities. So whenever we think about platform opportunities and platform shift opportunities, that's how we come at it. How can we essentially ride the wave for everything that we have today and make it more expansive? And then what new can we create? So if you take that lens, the core of Azure, or what is considered cloud computing, fundamentally changes in its nature and how compute, storage, and network come together. That's in some sense under the radar, if you will. For the last 3.5-4 years, we've been working very, very hard to build both the training supercomputers and now, of course, the inference infrastructure. Because once you use AI inside of your applications, it goes from just being training heavy to inference. So that's sort of, I think, core Azure itself is being transformed, but the core infrastructure business is being transformed. And so you can see us, with data beyond Azure OpenAI services. Even think about what Synapse plus OpenAI APIs can do. We already have in Power Platform incorporated capability. You can prompt a workflow. I mean, one of the reasons why we're the leaders in robotic process automation and workflow automation today is because of some of the AI capabilities that we have in there. GitHub Copilot is, in fact, you would say, the most at-scale LLM-based product out there in the marketplace today. And so we fully expect us to sort of incorporate AI in every layer of the stack, whether it's in productivity, whether it's in our consumer services. And so we're excited about it. But I think that we're also excited about OpenAI's own innovation, right? So they commercialize their products. We're excited about the ChatGPT being built on Azure and having the traction it has. So we look to, both there's an investment part to it and there's a commercial partnership, but fundamentally it's going to be something that's going to drive, I think, innovation and competitive differentiation
in every one of the Microsoft solutions by leading in AI.
Outstanding. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Keith. Joe, next question, please.
Our next question comes from the line of Brent Thill with Jefferies. Please proceed.
Thanks. Satya, can you give us your overall macro view? There were some comments you had made that concerned, I think, many about the state of the U.S. Spending environment. I'm just curious if you could comment and follow up on what you're seeing there just from a spend environment throughout the year. I think many came away with that perceiving that you were saying it's getting worse, not better. Can you just give us a little more color on that? Thank you.
No, thank you, Brenton. First of all, I was making a comment which was sort of a global comment, not just a specific U.S. comment. I mean, I always sort of subscribe to that there's only one law of gravity that I think all of us are subject to, which is inflation-adjusted economic growth in the world. And then how many times that do we grow? Because as I said even in my comments, Brent, I fundamentally believe, tech as a percentage of GDP is going to be much higher and on a secular basis. So the question is, how many times is it given the overall inflation-adjusted economic growth? So that's kind of how I look at it. Given that, I think the two things that we see, we commented on that even in the last quarter, and it's even in the outlook, which is the thing that customers are doing is what they accelerated during the pandemic. They're making sure that they're getting most value out of it or optimizing it. And then also being a bit more cautious on given the macroeconomic headwinds out there in the market. So given those two things, the point is the optimizations will end. In fact, the money that they save in any optimization of any workload is what they'll plow into workloads. And those workloads will start ramping up. And so one of the key things we are watching for, Brent, is to make sure that we are gaining share in this space through, our value propositions. And even, build loyalty with our customers so that long term we are well positioned for share gains. So that's sort of fundamentally how we view it. And then the other aspect I'd also say is simultaneously investing in this new AI trend, because I don't think any application start that happens next is going to look like the application starts of 2019 or 2020. They're all going to have considerations around how is my AI inference performance, cost, models going to look like. And that's where we are well positioned again. So that's how I view it. The market, you all are better readers of, quite frankly, what's happening out there. We can tell you what we see. What we see is optimization and some cautious approach to new workloads that will cycle through. But we do fundamentally believe on a long-term basis, as a percentage of GDP, tech spend is going to go up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brent. Joe, next question, please.
Our next question comes from the line of Mark Moerdler with Bernstein. Please proceed.
Thank you very much. I'd like to follow up a little bit on this question relating to optimization. I know we saw some slowing this quarter. You're guiding to some slowing next quarter in cloud and Azure. How much of that do you believe at this point is truly people optimizing what they've already bought and stepping back before that, versus how much of that is due to macro factors themselves specifically impacting demand?
I'd say two things, and then Amy, please feel free to add. One is it absolutely starts with workloads that they have at scale, just because of the visibility one has on what's driving essentially the consumption meters. And there's real guidance that we ourselves emit in the product to say, here are the things that you could do to optimize your billing. And so that's sort of what is the fundamental thing. When we say do more with less and how can we help, that's sort of the first place customers go to. And then the next piece really, I think, is going to be about how do they take the optimization that they get and the savings they get in one workload and what new project starts. And that's where I think there's reprioritization. When should we start the new project? Those are the two things that are happening simultaneously. They don't perfectly match, but one of the things is they're looking to bank some savings on some workloads and then start. So that's where I think a little bit of what has to happen is a cycle time where the optimization cycle finishes, the projects start, and then the projects ramp. And I think that that's what, at least on the cloud consumption side, you're seeing. And on the per user side, it's slightly different, which is in per user also, there was real acceleration in terms of purchases of per user licenses, whether it is for knowledge workers or frontline workers. And again, they're all now making sure that they're all getting used, and the usage is going up. Like when we look at our Office 365 usage, all those numbers are pretty, up year over year in a substantial way. Like I gave you some of the Teams numbers. In fact, one of the things was what will happen to Teams usage after pandemic. Guess what? They're up. And so that's good news. And now once we cycle through that, again, the seats will get added and premium. Like I'm very, very excited about Teams Pro coming out in a couple of weeks. And those are all the things that we will be able to sort of use to, ensure that the ARPUs are also going up with value.
And Mark, because I do think it's actually quite hard to separate from a driver perspective, how much is optimization versus macro. It's all related when you start to say, what's the best ROI I can get on every budget dollar I spend? And our job as a partner to so many of these customers is to help them do that. So Satya's talked a bit about Azure. Let me talk a little bit about the per user, where the way it showed itself is we had very high renewal rates and very good suite performance at renewal, meaning what we tend to call internally recapture. While we had some more challenges on maybe a standalone sale of a new product, where the cycle's going to be a little longer, right? You're going to have to show that cost savings. But the suite sale, the value in that showed itself in terms of strong E5. You can see the ARPU growth, and you can see the consistency potentially in both renewal rate and in, frankly, the Microsoft 365 performance.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Joe, next question, please.
Our next question comes from the line of Kash Rangan with Goldman Sachs. Please proceed.
Thank you very much. Satya, I'm curious if you could talk about how long the cycle time for optimization lasts. Are we talking a couple of quarters, few quarters, or multiple years? Because I do take your comment about tech spending as a percentage of global GDP going higher. So if that were to happen, how do you frame the duration of this optimization that's happening in the industry? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have a workload, you optimize the workload, and you start a new workload. So the thing that I would say is when you're done with optimizing a workload is when you are done with the cycle. So I think if you sort of say, when did we enter this, we accelerated a bunch of workloads during the pandemic over a period of 2 years. So we're optimizing. I don't think we're going to take 2 years to optimize, but we're going to take this year to optimize. And then as we optimize, the new projects start. And the new project starts don't start instantly at their peak usage. They start and then they scale. And so those are the two cycles that'll happen where there will be a time lag.
Got it. So it's a temporary adjustment before we start to get the full effect of the next set of workloads. Good to get that.
That's correct.
Thank you.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kash. Joe, next question, please.
The next question comes from the line of Karl Keirstead with UBS. Please proceed.
Thank you. This one for Amy. Amy, given the obviously tough environment, it sounds like reaching that full fiscal year 20% constant currency commercial revs guide would be tough. Is that also true for the soft guidance for 10% plus total revenue growth for the year? And if I could just sneak in a clarification, Amy, just because it's an important metric. When you talk about a 4 to 5 point decel in Azure, that's off of the 38% reported for December, right? Not off the 35 exit rate. Thank you.
It's off, Karl, let me just, the first half of your question, give me a second on the second half of your question, which is the guide off the exit rate? It's off the exit rate on Azure of 4 to 5 points. Just to make sure that is clear. In terms of thinking about total year revenue, you're right, I did not comment on full year revenue as we continue, I think, really just to watch the Windows PC market as it returns to pre-pandemic levels. Outside of that, as you can see, the trends are relatively consistent. So in some ways it's important because when you look at the operating income margin guidance that I talked about, the fact that we're guiding to really only 1 point of margin deceleration for the year on a constant currency basis, with probably over $2 billion of headwind from the OEM business from what we had anticipated heading into the year. The focus on margins, the focus on prioritization, the focus on putting our investments into where we know they have high return. I actually feel quite good about the place that puts us in as we exit the year in terms of, and the right energy, right? We're leaving the year in Q4 on leverage.
Got it. Super helpful. Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Carl. Joe, next question, please.
Our next question comes from the line of Brad Zelnick with Deutsche Bank. Please proceed.
Great. Thanks very much. Amy, I wanted to ask about the expense actions that you announced last week. Obviously not a decision that you would take lightly. How are you thinking about headcount for the remainder of the year and the possibility for further expense actions if necessary? And what criteria do you consider in making these decisions? Thanks.
Brad, listen, thanks for that question. Obviously, as we think about the Q4 guidance around low single-digit operating expense growth, we start to, as you know, sort of lap certain real acceleration points that we had last year, and we lapped the acquisitions, both of Nuance and of Xandr. So by the time that we get to the end of Q4, you'll see very moderated headcount growth on a year-over-year basis, in addition to some of the prioritization decisions we've made. And you're right. We take decisions like the one we had to make to get our cost structure more in line with revenue just incredibly seriously, because we have lots of very talented people who were impacted by that. And so I do think that we feel confident in that exit rate. And as I said, it'll certainly imply that year-over-year growth as we lap some of the investment that we've made will be quite small.
Thanks for the color.
Thanks, Brad. Joe, next question, please.
Our next question comes from the line of Brad Reback with Stifel. Please proceed.
Great. Thanks very much. On Office 365 commercial, with you guys approaching 400 million seats and the E5 business really starting to accelerate here on that consolidated sort of expense ROI that you're putting forth, should we think about the growth there more evenly balanced between seats and ARPU going forward, or still to continue to favor seats? Thanks.
Yeah, that's a good question, especially because this quarter you started to see a little bit more of that ARPU influence. And as you might have gathered from your question, and I'll just reinforce it, as we see some of these moderating seat growth, whether that's some of the new SKU weakness that we had talked about, some of the standalone stuff, you're starting to also see E5 ARPU happen at the same time. So it does create some stability in that Office 365 commercial revenue number. So we're seeing, still good seat growth, still growth across all workloads. And, as you're pointing out, we're getting further into the E5 health, where we've seen, I want to say, 4 or 5 really good quarters of E5 adoption. The value there is just very high for customers in this environment. Between analytics, security, and I think, we've given some, good security data points in terms of adoption and voice. This is a place where customers can save money by moving to this suite. And I do think you're starting to see some of that ARPU help.
And we're also
That's great.
investing in outside of Microsoft 365 in other per user workloads. Viva being a new suite, Power Platform on its own, and even standalone offers like even Teams Pro and what have you. So there's a significant amount of work we want to do besides the sort of the suites that we all sort of have at scale.
Great. Thank you very much.
Joe, we have time for one last question.
Our next question comes from the line of Tyler Radke with Citi. Please proceed.
Thanks for taking the question. I wanted to ask just about how your visibility has changed in terms of some of the larger Azure customer ramps. Could you just comment on, to the extent those large customer ramps, or if any of those projects are getting put on pause? And then is there any way to just kind of quantify the AI potential contribution or maybe GPU-powered contribution to Azure that you're expecting over the coming quarters? Thank you.
On the second piece, I think it's too early to sort of start somehow separating out AI from the rest of the workload. I mean, even the workloads themselves, AI is just going to be core part of a workload in Azure versus just AI alone. So in other words, if you have an application that's using a bunch of inference, let's say, it's also going to have a bunch of storage, and it's going to have a bunch of other compute beyond GPU inferencing, if you will. So I think over time, obviously, I think every app is going to be an AI app. That's, I think, the best way to think about this transformation. On your characterization of the large customers, whether there is any changes in their trajectory, I would say I would point back to, I think, some of the commentary around every large customer is looking to optimize the workloads that they have at scale today and plow some of that money back that they save into new project start. So that's sort of what the classic pattern of large customers is. Sometimes you have ISVs who are different, right? So if an ISV is optimizing, they optimize and say, what is the
Seem to have lost Microsoft. They're still here. I don't know what happened. They're still online. There's no reason why they shouldn't be here. They've lost their connection. They're still live. It looks like they're we are experiencing.
Hello, do you want me to move?
There we go. Technical difficulties coming from Microsoft. Shall I run the show? I mean, I'm just saying. We're experiencing technical difficulties.
Hello, do you want me to use the backup?
Yeah.
Hello.
Backup is good. I have backup. How come Microsoft don't have backup? This isn't good for the stock.
Hello.
Oh, and the share price is dumping.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by.
Microsoft, come on, where's your backup plan? It's quite entertaining, right? This is the first time ever I've seen this on a call, and it's coming from Microsoft. I run backup systems all the time. If my internet goes out, power goes out, I can carry on. I'm surprised this has happened to Microsoft. The share price is going down. Not looking good. Wow. A technology company. This is not what you expect. Look.
Please resume on phone 2.
There we go. Share price is still diving. Can you imagine?
That wraps up the Q&A portion of today's earnings call. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to speaking with all of you soon.
So they ended.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's conference. At this time, thanks for your participation.
There we go. It looks like they ended it quite abruptly. The share price is going down, so that's not good. But of course, anyone can have technical difficulties, but maybe not the best. Maybe not the best for Microsoft. I mean, I've got contingency plans for every kind of eventuality. Camera goes out, internet, power goes out. This is Microsoft. It's not really that good, is it? Anyway, I've always said you should expect excellence. Too many people go, well, it doesn't matter. It does matter. Presentation is everything. It's a representation of who you are. And as Stephen Lewandowski just said, yes, Vorb all over again. They had the worst presentation in the history of the world. Someone's back bedroom, if you ever watch that one. Anyway, we are done. I will share with you my live position on the screen. Look, I managed to scout Microsoft. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Bought in, sold it on the pop, took it back down again, back in, basically got free shares. So I'm very, very happy with that. And we had a huge moment a few moments ago with Amazon. This Doesn't happen. Look at Amazon. Look at Amazon. We're trading along for days like this, and then boom, went to $99. I was in the green for the first time, and then bam, straight back down again. Talk about manipulation right there. Anyway, all it does is presents opportunity to buy more. Martyn, you gave the best. You can deserve a salute to that. Thank you very much. I appreciate your sentiment. That's very kind of you. Right, so let's have a quick look. This is what we're looking at right now. The S&P went down, of course, on that. That's okay. I'm still up 3%. I'm not at all concerned. Hang on a minute. I'm looking at what am I looking at now? That's on my Roth, isn't it? Yes. Do I have one? I have one share of the S&P in my Roth. Okay, let's go to my brokerage account. I was looking at thinking I have more than that. And there we go, 45% of my portfolio. This is, 47%. This is why right now we're still in a bear market. We're still in a defensive state. It's why today I bought some more Coca-Cola. It went to all-time low, so I bought it. J&J went to all-time low. Defensive stocks. Good dividend stocks, protective stocks. Microsoft, I bought it, sold it here, bought it back here. Only a very, very small position. However, as you can see, I'm back on a wash with the profits banked. So I profited the profits. Banked the profits. That's the word I'm looking for. Banked the profits. Got basically some free shares there, or free parts of it. Rocket Labs. We did actually have Rocket Labs here. Rocket Labs, as exactly as predicted, got some good news. It went up, and then it's coming back down again. I've only got one share. It's a market share. It's not ready for me yet. I've not done enough research on it to feel comfortable with it. But as you all know, I am in Virgin Galactic and Virgin Orbit. There they are. In fact, I'm not showing Virgin Orbit tonight, am I? I'm closed most of it down. Anyway, Microsoft. I don't need to buy any more. I've made some money. I'm very happy with that. Wonderful to see Churchy pop in tonight. He's on holiday. We wish Churchy all the best for his holiday, and we also wish him the very best for his new job. Okay, there we go. Let's see how many people in the show right now. 6,153. One person unsubscribed. That's okay. That happens. And how many came through the show? 163. If we get 100 likes on the video, we'll give away a cash prize. So we're looking at the video right now. If you smash the like button, in fact, we're not going to have time. I've got to get out of here. I'm presenting at a Lions Club event tonight. They've asked me to speak. I'm a speaker at a Lions Club event tonight, so I've got to go. Anyway, I wish everybody the very, very best. And thank you so much indeed. We are back in the morning for the opening bell. I've got to get off very quickly because I've got to be at the meeting in 55 minutes. And I've got to edit this out and put it out as a Microsoft presentation as well. So I've got to do that. So that's it from me. Thank you so much indeed. Let me go over to the end screen and say ta-ra to you all. I don't think we've got any credits today. Nothing really happened there, so we won't run the credits. I will see you back in the morning. We did get a new member during our show, Sakiso. I've upgraded him, so hopefully we'll look forward to seeing him, and our friend who wanted to hear the Eye of the Tiger as well. That's on Thursday night in the closing bell afterwards. That's it from me. I'll see you back in the morning. Yes, Sakiso, join us live 10 hours a day, breaking news throughout the day, plus on my music channel. Sakiso, go and check it out right now. In fact, I've got a couple of bonuses for you. Go on the homepage of my music of this channel, and you'll see my music channel. I've just recorded some stuff with U2. I was doing a lip sync with Sir Paul McCartney, and a few other videos. Check them out. But anyway, here are today's cash giveaway videos. If you watch all the way through this video here, you will get, there were ad breaks throughout that alley. There were ad breaks. You might have YouTube Premium and didn't see it. How many people have we got? There's Ali Tisro's cash giveaway. Let's have a look. How many people we got in right now? We've got 22. We've got some new people. Okay, we got some new people in the show. So I'm going to share something with you right now. Something you might be interested in. Ali Tisro is one of our new sponsors. Now, I want to be absolutely clear. We have sponsors to support the channel, but also to benefit you. Ali Tisro came along and said, can I sponsor the channel? I want to provide some quality content. We discussed it. I decided it was good for you, so we put it in. He pays me $99 a month to be a sponsor on my channel. And he came to me and said, can I offer you $500 as a gift? And if you match it, $500, I'm going to show you how to turn $1,000 into $10,000. And what I do on my show is I don't need to be the expert of anything. I have a team of people that provide me with charts, technical advice, support, and so on. And I surround myself by great people. And Ali Tisro has a proven track record about being successful with crypto. So this portfolio here is $1,000 in Coinbase waiting to buy some crypto. It's not right time to buy it, and when it is, we shall buy it. Ali will tell me what to buy, what crypto to buy, when to sell it, and we're going to make $10,000. All right. There's another challenge, 7,000 to 100,000, or you could do $100. Entirely up to you. You can do whatever you want. But if you're not completely au fait with charts and all that kind of stuff, Ali Tisro does all the charts for you. And he will demonstrate and show you. Now, if you want to get Ali Tisro tips, it is a premium channel, but my YouTube members can actually get a 15% lifetime discount. So our friend that just came in a few moments ago and who became Sakiso, became a new member, you can get a 15% discount to this service. So you've got my Discord. So if you go on to my Discord, I'll share with you right now. This is my Discord right now. Let's have a little look. And is that better? Okay, I was muted. I apologize for that. Is that better? So over here on the Discord is Ali Tisro's tips, and you all get a 15% discount if you go through my my server. All my members do. So Ali, I just wanted to ask, is that 15% discount link still up to date? Because we had to update your Discord link. Is that still up to date? Can you just confirm that with me? All right. However, should you go, hang on a minute, I don't want to go on your Discord server, I don't want to be a member of you, that's fine. You don't have to be. You can go directly to Ali's server, but then you won't, of course, get our membership discount, okay? Here is our Discord server. I'm also going to give you Ali's server. There's my Discord server. But if you want to go directly to Ali, you can, and you don't have to be a member of my channel, but then you'll pay the full price. And that's entirely up to you. There it is. I'll post it for you, just under Ali. Okay, so if I show you now what you get with Ali Tisro's tips, this is what you get. It's a little teaser, of course, because if I show you everything you get, there'd be not much point, right? So this is the teaser channel. And basically what he's doing the entire thing for you. So it gives you some idea of the complexity of this stuff. He's working out which crypto to buy, what price. It's all allocated. It's all worked out on charts and everything. So you could follow this if you wanted to on his server. And he also calls in live to the show, talks about these charts, presents it all to you. This is his teaser channel, just to give you an idea of a taster of the complexity of all of this stuff and the way he puts it all together. He knows exactly when he's going to buy and sell. He's had some success with it, so I am doing it with my money. This is not financial advice. I'm not paid to tell you this is a great idea. I am paid to sponsor this project because I am doing it myself. So I'm not just telling you to jump off a cliff because somebody offered me money. That's exactly the opposite of what I'm doing. This is my actual money. This is my real money you're looking at on the screen there. So there you go. There it is. If anyone's got any questions, go and ask Ali directly into his server or message through my server. Whichever way you want to do it is absolutely fine. But that is it. I've got to get out of here. I'm at a Lions meeting in just 45 minutes, and I've got to get this video done before I do that. So you can imagine I'm pretty busy right now. Anyway, that's it. I look forward to seeing you all back in the morning for the opening bell. Welcome to our new members tonight. Microsoft earnings, interesting. Managed to make some money from it. It is going to go back even lower tomorrow. And if I find some funds, I will buy it back lower and add to my position. But there we go. I've made some money from it, and I am very, very happy with my position. Okie doke. I will see you all back in the morning. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks, Martin. Appreciate everything you do for us. It is my absolute pleasure. Live 10 hours a day, growing a community. We hope to grow the best, most honest, real YouTube channel in the world. We have now 6 days left to save my music channel from being demonetized. It's nearly 20 years old, that channel. And because I focus on this one, I've let the watch hours die off. I've got 500 hours to make up by the end of this month. If I don't, I could lose my music channel from monetize. I won't be able to raise money for charities and so on. So if in the next, by the 29th, if I haven't achieved it with you guys and everybody else who watches my music channel, I will have to take a couple of days off from the investor channel and be live on my music channel and make it up that way. Hopefully that won't happen. I've never not gone live on the investor channel, but I can't afford for my music channel to die. I need to spend the last 2 days. Hopefully that won't happen. If 500 people watch for 1 hour, we'd be done. If 250 people watch for 2 hours, we'd be done. You get the idea, right? Okay. Click one of the playlists, let it loop, and we'll update you in the morning. In the meantime, how long will you be live singing? Will be hard work. Well, not really. I used to do 8-hour shows in piano bars in Norway and the Netherlands. I can get back 500 hours. I'll just go live all day if I have to. Don't worry about that. I will not be letting my music channel die. We've got 6 days left. If we get to the last 2 days and it's still short, I'll have to take some days off here from doing the investor channel. But all you got to do is go to my channel, click on the playlist, tell your friends to do it, loop it. We'll do it easy. All right. See you back in the morning. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other.